Hello, this is Steve Geishert with Parts Now. I'm here to give you another Parts Now tech tip. So with that, here's the scenario. I need to print this very important document here, but every time I send a print job to the printer here, I end up with this message on here that tells me that it wants me to put paper on tray 1 or the MP tray instead of pulling from my cassette tray. I can't figure out why, and it's driving me nuts. This is a real common issue that we come across in tech support every day. They'll be talking about, they're telling me about, Steve, they don't know how to do this. So do a video on this. So here we are, we're going through the video. So situation, I tell it to print, it asks me for media on tray 1. What's going on? Why won't it pull from my cassette tray? Well, simply put, it's a couple things we need to check. First off, we're going to start, since this is a 4250, 4250 series type of machine, has a special switch on here that we should be checking. It's called the custom and standard switch, as you can see here. Right now, this is set for standard, which means that it's going to be checking the media size according to how it's set with the gates here. So as this gate moves forward or back, there's fingers on the side here that are going to detect that different size, and it's going to change. Now, if I set it for custom, you'll notice all of them just popped out, and it doesn't matter what I do here, it's not changing position. So in custom size, it's saying I have a custom size media. I don't care what the gates say that I've gotten here. I'm going to treat it as something special. And usually it happens when somebody is going through and filling the paper tray, trying to throw in another 500 sheets, and they go, oh, what's this thing? And they flip it back and forth, and they put it in custom, and they push in the tray and go, why is it acting strange? So that's a good check in here. Newer machines have gotten rid of that. That's the good news. But some of your early 2000s, mid 2000 machines still have that switch, so go looking for that. Next issue we come across, how many people, when they're replacing the media, are going to come along and adjust the gates out, take the media, put it in the tray, and then they push the guides up, and then we hope that they got it right. And if they missed it by a little bit, sometimes it's going to say, I've still got custom, even though my switch is set to standard. So making sure that it's fully in there. What do I have? Oh, I missed my letter size setting here. So you can see how it says nothing inside there, and I'm going to change it now back to where it should be. And it's just a little bit off. Today's the finicky day. Now it's set to letter in the small windows you can see inside there. So this one's now set correctly. So I can put my media inside, and I've got my gates set correctly then. So with the custom switch set off, and I've set the standard, I should say, and I've got the media gate set up correctly, I can now close the tray. It's going to lift the paper up to the proper height. I can hear it grind as it's lifting up, proper grind, good grind. And then it's asking me on the display here, what type of paper do I have? Tray 2, it now says bond, letter. So it's bond type, and it's letter size media. Whoa. When I'm trying to print for my computer here, for my very important documents, I'm trying to print to plain paper. Well, what am I going to do here? Of course, now I see why it's not pulling, because it says the media type in tray 2 is bond. Now, what if it had said letterhead? Well, if it's letterhead, do I want to print everyday documents on letterhead? No, that'd be an expensive mistake, wouldn't it? So I've got to be careful as I'm doing this here. If I'm going to put plain paper in here, and maybe somebody just set it up incorrectly, easy way to do this, pull my tray, put it back in, the machine's going to say, hey, what size media do I have? I can go in here and tell the machine, well, I've got letter size paper, and it's plain paper. So if I change it to that, now the machine's going to be happy with everything that I've got, and we go into the menus here, and I've got it set for letter. Yep, that's correct. And now I'm going to scroll up to my standard plain paper here. And if I set that up and I'm setting plain paper in my driver, which it probably is defaulting to, suddenly the machine's going to start pulling paper out of tray 2. Be careful though. If that's not plain paper in there, it's going to pull it. It doesn't care if it's plain paper. I've just defined it as plain paper through the menus here. So if it is letterhead, I'm now printing plain paper documents on letterhead. That's bad. So be careful what you do. But do you understand the difference now? So going through the menus and setting up your trays properly, and setting it up for your drivers. I could send this and say, I want letterhead, print it off on the machine, but if my tray is set up for plain, it won't pull from my cassette tray, will it? Because I asked for letterhead on my computer. See how they've got a match? Okay, So it's your quick run through here. I can find that in the drivers. It's a quick find and a quick fix. So if you get it from this point, a couple different things we hit. Looking at the custom standard switch that was inside the tray, the little blue lever, making sure my gates are set up correctly. Also making sure that my media is set up for the media type, not just media size, but media type inside here. Because if it doesn't match what my driver is trying to print to, it won't allow it to pull from that tray. Likewise, if I've got this set up for something special and this is plain paper, again, it's not going to pull. So got to get those two to match. And the last point being, if you got something special in here and you set it plain, you see the danger, the trouble that you can get yourself into. Anyway, I think we've covered the basis on this one. In the future, we're going to do another one on some other types of machines that can cause a very similar issue. But until then, this is going to be your Parts Now Tech Tip of the Day. This is Steve Geichert. Thanks.